So
We started at the Chico Women's Club 16 years ago with maybe 15 vendors, and now we are here with over 60 vendors and super successful days. Chikoko just sold our one-of-a-kind art piece here, our pod. We're very excited about that. Somebody got it for their granddaughter for Christmas.
oh, it's sold already.
Yeah.
And is it like a little tent that you put in a child's room?
You crawl inside of it. It's a hanging tent. You crawl inside.
Wow. And where do the proceeds go?
Of the whole event, there's not a lot of proceeds. The booth fees just pay for the rental and the advertising. So they just go back into the community, really.
And what are you selling?
This is the kids' stuff. My kids made this stuff, and then I made this side. I'm really into rainbows, so I make a lot of rainbow stuff.
Great. And do you sell it other places beside this?
Just for Chikoko events.
Great. Anything else you want to say?
No, thanks for interviewing me.
Next year we can make money, like yellow corn. Yeah. All right, let me supervise. Hey.
What's your name?
Michelle.
And what's a meteor shower mobile all about?
A meteor shower mobile are these little mobiles that I made to inspire people to lay down and look up at the night sky.
How wonderful. And do you do that?
I do.
And what are you seeing in terms of visibility?
What do you mean? When I go out at night?
Yeah, because a lot of times you can't see.
I know, yeah. I just pick the nights or early mornings. I like to go like at 4 in the morning, go outside and look at the sky.
Neat.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any inspirations from contemplation that you want to share?
Oh my gosh, what are my inspirations? Mostly that rest will really help you.
Rest?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be sleep, it's just quietness. Got it. And how did you get into making the mobiles? And these are line drawings?
Yeah, these are little line drawings I do as like a little drawing meditation. How did I get into making them? I guess I'm just inspired by the night sky to make them. Yeah.
And how do you tell the difference between a satellite, a planet?
Well, when I look, a satellite is moving fast, and a planet is not moving quite as fast, I think. Yeah.
Okay. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. It's nice to see everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see everyone.
Thank you.
you.
So what are you representing that's so creative and wonderful here?
I'm really a family representative, Turkey Tail Farm. My wife is making the fairy dolls on this tree. And Sammy and Sheeta make all kinds of stuff, from mushroom growing to mushroom tinctures to herbal products.
And don't you do CSAs?
They do a CSA. It's a meat CSA, organic, pork and lamb products. Plus organic duck eggs. The mushrooms are organic, of course.
Mushrooms are always organic, right?
Unless you put them in bad fertilizer or bad compost, but yes.
So how many hogs and ducks and whatever do you have?
The hogs vary. Pigs give very big litters, so when mama gets pregnant, she will often give out 8, 9, 10 babies. They are not, the mamas are not great mamas. They often go over and crush 1 or 2 of the litter. But Cheeto then regulates the flow. Pigs are easy. He gets most of his food as waste from local restaurants, where he also sells his mushrooms. So it's a nice circular
Very nice.
product that way.
You know, I was hearing on the radio that they're experimenting with pig heart transplants and pig kidneys and whatever. And people say that pigs are really intelligent. Is that your experience with pigs?
It is. They are really smart.
What's an example of a smart thing a pig did?
Just when they recognize you, they come up to see you. they live by themselves pretty much. During the campfire, we had to vacate the place, and Cheetah could not get the pigs out, so he left the gates open. When he came back 2 weeks later, the pigs were still there. They were smart. They knew where
They didn't go out of the gate.
They didn't go out of the gate. They just hung on, survived the fire. So good sign of their smarts.
Ah, interesting.
Interesting piece in the paper this morning about feral pigs that are all over the country.
Like on Sutter Buttes, there's a lot of them.
Pretty dangerous things. They desolate the land.
Yeah, Sutter Buttes, when I went hiking there was all kinds of, it was just pitted with,
Yes, yeah.
I guess they're hogs or boar, or what are they when they're wild like that?
They called them swine in the article this morning, but I don't know exactly. We were looking at land at the end of Clear Lake a couple of years ago, and there was a huge problem that turned out. Just destructive to property all over the place. So our pigs are not like that.
Because they're well fed. Have you had kids come and write
Yes, we've
letters
had about
to
2
Santa?
dozen kids send letters to Santa Claus.
What are they? Are there any themes that you're seeing, and any difference
Legos.
between boys and girls?
Mostly girls, but everybody wants Legos. I fear that Santa's going to run out of Legos if he has not stocked up.
That's good to know.
I'm doing a radio show in 2 weeks. I do thematic shows from time to time of ecosystems you might not have heard about or thought about.
This is KZFR 90.1 FM every Tuesday
Every Tuesday
at 6?
at 5.
At 5.
I did one 2 weeks ago about the ecosystem of the ant. And Guillermo Mash role-played Guillermo the ant for me.
Oh,
So on my swing band show, I'm going to do a replay of that interview. A lot of fun. He took it as a tongue-in-cheek. Well, we gave out a lot of good information about ants, how many there are. Did you know that the total weight of ants on Earth is 20 times that the weight of all the humans on Earth? Yeah, there are a lot of ants out there.
that's great.
But Guillermo was great. He played wonderful.
Thank you.
55 years.
What got you started in being a jeweler?
Say again.
What got you started being a jeweler, Jima?
It's an odd tale. I had a store on Hollywood Boulevard back in the late 60s. I started one day beating on a piece of brass wire on the floor in the back room and found it really interesting and just kept on making things out of metal. And here I am, 55 years later.
So you were self-taught?
I was. I made my living for 25 years before I took my first class at the Mendocino Art Center. And then a year later, I was teaching workshops at the Mendocino Art Center, which I did for 15 years.
And how do you have a storefront, or do you sell online?
No, I do have an online store, but I've been making my living selling at fairs since 1971.
Wow. And what have you seen change in terms of people's tastes, if any, changes?
Well, things change every year. Taste for color, size. I used to make really huge things like necklaces this big with things hanging from them. Now people want more smaller things. It just changes. You just watch it. But mostly, I stick with what interests me, design-wise.
So how would you
play.
characterize what interests you design-wise?
Well, when I first got into making jewelry, I made things by the dozen and wholesaled them all over the Los Angeles area. And that was too much like a job. I didn't like that. So when I started doing fairs, I realized that, wow, I can make one-of-a-kind things and people will buy them. So I moved in that direction. And so that's real important for me. But the most important aspect of my work now is that I love mixing metals, like silver, copper, gold, and brass. There was a time when I made everything out of all silver, and then there was a time I made things out of all gold. But I really like mixing the things. It's like having more than one color to paint with, and it sells better.
What stone is that?
Which one are you looking at?
Yeah.
That's a piece of light blue chalcedony, which is a type of agate, kind of frosty blue.
Some people think that gemstones have qualities, like they can be grounding or they can be
Yeah, I feel
uplifting.
different energies from stones. I don't kind of try to sell things that way, but like I pick up stones all the time, and I'll sometimes pick up something and I'll say, whoa, I feel that. You know, so I would be surprised if there wasn't some realistic aspect of that energy from stones.
Do you go to like gem shows in Arizona to buy, or
No, I have dealers that come to my house that I know.
They're-
And I have gone to gem shows, not the ones in Arizona, but like in San Mateo and Sacramento and so forth. And then there are places that I buy stones after I build a relationship with, buy them through the mail. After I order a few and they come and they satisfy me, then I order more.
and do you live in the Chico area?
No, but I've been doing shows here every year since 1976.
So you know
Did you ever hear of the
Chico.
Bah Humbug Festival?
Yeah.
I did that for 35 years.
Oh wow.
But it doesn't happen anymore. So I'm glad that I discovered the Bazaar because it works. 95% of my business is from people who have bought from me before.
Oh,
I send
interesting.
out, when I come here, I send out like 400 emails to people who like my work. And that's almost all of my business.
And does your wife Carly help with the making of the
She
jewelry?
did. She's retiring from making jewelry.
Oh.
For many years, she made half of it.
Oh,
At this point, it's not that I need the money anymore. I just love making jewelry.
oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
I'm getting used to being 80 years old. I said,
Really?
really? How did that happen?
Yeah. Names, and how did you get started doing this business?
Started as a painter, and I've kind of expanded to jewelry and cards using my art and my designs. And yeah.
Well, could you show us something that you are especially fond of that you made?
Well, we have an ink painting here of some yellow big pies.
And what are the media?
It's ink and resin.
Oh wow. Do you do it in layers? I mean layers and layers?
The resin's the top coat.
Ah. I see. And you do the leather?
I do. My name's Amy, and I do the leather and any felting that you see, and the knitted porcelain.
Oh my goodness, how do you make this?
I knit the vessel first with cotton fiber. Then I dip them in porcelain slip, let them set up, and then when I fire it, the fiber burns
Yeah.
away in the kiln, and it's just left with porcelain surround.
Wow, those are really unique. I've never seen anything like that.
I saw someone that had a piece of cotton fabric hung up on a line that had been dipped, and it looked like clothes waving in the wind, you know. And I'm a knitter, so I thought, I wonder if I could knit something. I tried it.
And how do you get your work out? Do you have a storefront? Do you go online?
I really just do art shows like this whenever they come up. I usually do 2 or 3 a year.
Wonderful.
This is new for me. I've been doing leather for quite a while, and before that I did traditional pottery.
And how did you learn to do leather?
I went to, it's called the John C. Campbell Folk School in North Carolina, and took a leather crafting class there. And fell in love with it, went home, and started making bags.
If you were going to pick one, and I said you can only have one that to be your personal bag.
Probably this guy.
I love that.
This is sort of like a big male satchel. You can wear it over the shoulder or crossbody. All the straps are adjustable, and it's got 3 big pockets inside.
Do you want? Can we see? Or
Sure, yeah.
leather's great. It has that wonderful leather
So you've
smell.
got a big pocket in the middle, one back here, and one in the front.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. That was the most work. A lot of sewing. I hand sew all of them myself.
You have an industrial sewing machine.
No, I do it all by hand.
What? How do you? What?
I punch holes first in the leather with a leather punch, and then sew them saddle stitch by hand.
Oh wow! Is there a line of stitching we could
On these
see?
you can see.
Wow! Oh yeah, I see.
See that?
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Sure, you might be able to see. Yeah, you can see a little more of the stitching on these because it's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Thank you. How beautiful. What's your name?
My name is Casey Tynan.
And what does high anxiety mean to you?
High Anxiety is the name of my brand. I made it about 6 years ago, and it's just a reflection of my mental health, I suppose, and trying to make something positive out of it.
And what do you make? You do silk screen?
Yeah, I screen print. So all of these are my illustrations that I screen printed onto different shirts and patches, and I hand embroider the patches into sweaters and stuff.
Oh, these are beautiful. And then it's ink.
Yeah, it's all screen printed. So yeah, I use ink. It passes through the screen.
And do you have less anxiety when you're creating?
Sure, yeah. Definitely when I'm illustrating, definitely. Sometimes making all of this stuff can be a little overwhelming. But yeah, when it comes to the drawing part, definitely.
And how do you sell? Do you have a storefront? Do you do online?
Yeah, I sell online. I do a lot of pop-up shops. I do a lot of craft festivals. But yeah, I do a lot of story sales on my Instagram as well. High Anxiety Go is the name of my Instagram.
Of the different fairs that you've done in different cities, which people are the most friendly and least anxious?
Probably Chico, honestly. Yeah, I've only ever really done other festivals in Oakland and San Francisco, so it's pretty busy there. Yeah, everyone in Chico is just really nice and supportive. So.
What's your name?
My name is Ross. I'm a printmaker.
And how did you get started printmaking?
I've done art mostly my whole life, but the last like 3 years or so, I started doing lino cuts specifically, and that's all I ever do now. I love it.
So you take a linoleum block and carve out?
Yeah, definitely. Some of the blocks I've done, I got a few of them here. One of the tools I use for it.
Right.
Yeah, I hand carve, ink, and press all of them myself.
And what inspires you? Nature?
Nature, yeah. I like all of the creatures that are kind of cute, kind of gross, and that's why I do a lot of these possums. I do a lot of rats and raccoons and frogs.
Love that. Love that too.
Oh, a dung beetle.
Right?
And how do you market your prints? Do you have a storefront? Do you sell in stores, online?
I mostly just do different vendor events. Around town, I definitely try to do one every other month or so. If you follow the Chico vendor events page, I do a lot of their events as well.
And do you have another job?
Yes,
on the side?
I bartend over at Secret Trail. Yeah. And I'm also a dad. I have 2 kids, so very busy all the time.
Really?
Yep.
As a bartender, do people tell you their life stories?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I bartend. I've also worked in coffee, so I've heard a lot of people's life stories.
And do you see any patterns? I mean, are they happy or they're unhappy or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially the beer industry. Most people come in and they're excited about getting something to drink. So most people that come in are pretty happy. Coffee shop, mixed bag. Yeah, some people are really grouchy before their coffee.
Interesting. And are your kids artistic as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're 4 and just about 3 now, but they help me with a lot of this too. I make little stamps for them so they can get a stamp pad and work with it, and they're big drawers as well. So
they can make wrapping paper.
Yeah, definitely they should.
You should sell their wrapping paper.
I will. I'll do that. See me next year with a bunch of their work.
So do you have any advice for someone who wants to make a living doing art?
Yeah, I'm always happy to talk art with people. One of the things I love about Chico is there's so many wonderful artists and makers and creatives here, and it's a very nice open community. So anyone who's trying it out for the first time might be a little nervous. There's always somebody around here happy to give advice and talk to you about it. I've definitely had a lot of local support helping me along the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.